Good evening, everybody. In the last times, we start over through the Dhamma-cakka-ppavattana-sutta, the turning the wheels of Dhamma. Today we also chanted it, and then this is the first sutta that the Buddha gave in Saranat, in Varanasi, to the 5 friends, and to the 5 students, his 5 students. And actually, we cover already a few weeks that we talk about it. And the last time we talked about that the Buddha is talking about the 4 noble truths. And I explained about the noble truth. The first noble truth about suffering, already we covered it. Also, the reason of the suffering, which is the tanha, the attachment. Also, this one we covered. And then we talk about the end of the suffering. This is the 3rd noble truth. This is Nirodhan, Nirvana. And now, actually, I want to talk today about the 4 noble truths, which is the Eightfold Path. This is the way, the way how to cut the tanha, the thirsty, the attachment. The end of the way out to stop suffering. And this is actually the Eightfold Path. Now, in the Eightfold Path, there is 8 elements that we need to build inside us. So when we build this 8 elements inside us, the mind is getting into purification, into cleaning, like I said, they overcome the attachment. The tanha, the reason of the suffering. And the first one of them is actually what we call samadhi. Samadhi, it's right understanding. And right understanding is to understand the 4 noble truths. So it means that actually the first line of the Eightfold Path we cover already, because this is the 4 noble truths itself. It's what we call samadhi. So the first line of the Eightfold Path we already covered by the last weeks that we talked about it. Okay, so we have altogether 8. So the first one is the 4 noble truths itself that we already covered. So now I will start with the second path from the Eightfold Path, because if the first one is samadhi, which is the 4 noble truths that we already talked about it. So you see that the 4 noble truths is inside the Eightfold Path, and the Eightfold Path is inside the 4 noble truths. This is this circle, they closing each other actually. So we, like I said, we start from the second part. The second part of the Eightfold Path. It's what we call Sama Sankappa. Sama Sankappa. The word Sankappa, it's actually the same words like you translate like Vitakka, which means thinking, okay, to think. So the idea is right thinking. Sama Sankappa, it's right thinking, or but it's not about the thinking itself. It's not about when I'm thinking about, for example, about the bank. So it's not about thinking about the bank, it's the attitude that I'm thinking about the bank, the intention. It's mean right intention. We can say right thinking, but it's the meaning. It's right intention. It's mean the condition in the mind that coming when I'm thinking about, when thinking coming on me. The motivation, what we call sankara. The sankara, the volition that the thinking is mixed with. If I'm thinking, oh, I want to rob the bank, I want to make damage there, or why these people are very, very bad. So in this moment, the thinking is bad thinking. But if I think, oh, they're keeping the money for us, they are very nice to us, they're good for us. So this means the intention about the same subject, which is the bank, but in the good way. So the volition itself, this is what we mean when we say Sama Sankappa. And you can, about the volition, about the intention, you have 2 ways. One of them you call Yoniso Manasikara. Okay, the Yoniso, it's a good way. Okay, Yoniso, it's a good, it's wholesome, and Mana, it's a mind. sikara, it's karoti, it's to make. And yoniso manasikara, it means good intention. Okay, when I'm thinking in a good way, so this is yoniso manasikara. And you have ayoniso manasikara, which is this is negative. It means this is a motivation in the mind which is not good. Okay, influenced by greed, anger, delusion. So if the thinking influenced by greed, anger, delusion, so it creates dukkha, suffering at the end. But if it's generosity, loving kindness, and wisdom, so it will create good result in the mind. So the way of the thinking, the volition in the thinking, the sankara, or the intention of the thinking, is influence on us if we will suffer at the end or not. If we talk about bad thinking, this is called miccha sankappa. Miccha, it's opposite from sama. Sama, it's all the time we say sama ditti, sama sankappa. So in this case, miccha ditti, it's wrong thinking. Miccha sankappa, it's a wrong. Miccha ditti, it's wrong view. Miccha sankappa, it will be the wrong thinking. And what is this considered to be wrong thinking according to Buddhism? The first one is covetousness. It means in Pali it's a abhijja. This is, I want to have something that other people have. I wish that I will get the other things what other people have. Okay, like craving to what other people have, and I want to have it. So this is influenced by greed. And when thoughts coming, are thinking about something, maybe I'm thinking about the dog of the neighbor, and I say, oh, I wish that this dog will be my dog. Okay, even if the neighbor have to happen something or whatever, that I just get it, or the wife, or the money, or the car of other person. So this is thinking which influenced by greed. Okay, so this is one kind of thinking or sankappa which is creating suffering in the mind, even can bring the people into the hell. According to Buddhism, it's very, very strong influence. Another one, it's called Bhayapada. This is the thinking influenced by ill will, by hatred, by even wishing that other people damage or other people die, or something bad will happen to them. It's aversion, anger. So you see the hatred. So the first one, it's talking about influenced by the greed. So I crave to have the other people what they have, okay? Covetousness. And the other one, it's the one which is ill will, which is created by anger, by aversion, even want to destroy other people. So this is the second thing, which is miccha sankappa, wrong thinking, or the wrong way of thinking. And the third one is called miccha ditti. Miccha ditti is a wrong view. For example, people that say, why should I respect Papa, Mama? Anyway, we are dying and there is nothing to eat, and do whatever you want. This life, anyway, you die, there is no other reincarnations. And whatever happened to me, it's not because of me. Other people, it's blame. Okay, I blame other people. He make to me. I don't take responsibility or not believe on karma. So this is mean if the thinking influenced by this way, this is called miccha sankappa, wrong thinking. They create a lot of suffering. They will go against the Eightfold Path. If we want to clean the mind, these three things actually will create more suffering and lead us to be far from cleaning the mind, more dirty the mind. Like I said, according to Buddhism, this can be so strong that it can drop the people into the hell. But if we talk about the three kinds of their sama sankappa, which is good, and what we are talking about, how to be free from the attachment. So according to Buddhism, we have again three of them. The first one is what we call nekama. Nekama, it's renunciation, letting go. So this is one kind of good way of thinking, Dhamma-cakka-ppavattana, which is selflessness. It's not only thinking about myself, non-attachment, dana, okay, the ability to give, the ability to quit. Buddha himself, he was a king and he let go of the kingdom. He already, just the baby born, he gave to his baby the kingdom. He say, you will be something like, you will be under me. I'm going away to be the monk. Okay, so the Buddha, renunciations, letting go. In Pali, we call it nekama. So the second one, it's abhayapada. This is the opposite. If bhayapada, it's the anger, ill will. Okay, when we talk about the micha, the wrong one. So this is called abhayapada, and this is actually loving kindness, metta, goodwill, friendliness, non-arming, not arming, okay, not to be enemy to people, no aversion. So this is what we call metta in Pali. So if people develop the metta, so the mind is more free from on the directions to happiness. And the third one, which is called Dhamma-cakka-ppavattana, right? Thinking, this is avimsa. Avimsa, it means harmlessness, compassion, what we call karuna. No harming, not to want to harm other people. And what is the difference between the other one? The other one is metta, and this is karuna. The metta is thinking good about people, and karuna is wishing that other people not to have bad. If someone's sick and you wish them to recover from the sickness, this is karuna. Okay. If you say to people good morning or success in the examination, this will be loving kindness. When you help to people, it will be loving kindness. Okay, giving love to people. But when you are wishing other people suffering and you want to reduce his own suffering, then it will be compassion. So there are two different things. It's not to be said to people, if people sick or whatever, it's not mean you have to be sick, sad because of them, or to mercy about them, to cry because of them. But you have to think about them and to try to help them, not to be negligent, to say, I don't care about it. So this is actually three things, what we call Dhamma-cakka-ppavattana. Like I said, I repeat, one of them is the renunciations. Another one is the metta, loving kindness, and the third one is the compassion or karuna. And three of this kind of thinking, they are actually coming from what we call yoniso manasikara. It means the mind is created by goodness, and that's why it will lead us into more and more free and happiness. So this is actually the second part, like I said, second part, which is called the right thinking. Now I go to the third part. The third part called Samma-sacha. Sacha, it means speech, okay? And if we talk about sacha, this is already actions. We are taking actions. So we have different level of the right actions of speech, which is first of them, it's because everything coming from the motivation in the mind. So the first one is called varita. Varita is to prevent for yourself to do bad. For example, if you take precept, you say, okay, I try not to tell lie, I try not to gossip, I try not to. So this is called varita. It's to prevent yourself, or let's say, to take decision, I will not make it. Because we say, okay, telling lies, it's bad things. Okay, create bad things in the mind. But if someone not telling lies, for example, someone sleeping all the night, so he's not telling lies. But in this case, you cannot say that he's making something good for about speech. Even he's not talking, he's not it's not mean he's not making good. You have to make the motivation in the mind not to tell the lie. Then it will be the right speech. Then it will be something in the mind that connect to speech. So one of them is called varita, which is I make a wish not to tell lie, not to do this and this, okay? But you have also another thing which is called charita. Charita, it's really to take the actions. For example, we have also different levels. One of them is the person used to tell lie, almost want to tell lie, but in the last moment, he block himself, he say, it's not good to do it. I will stop myself, I will not say the lie, I know it's not beneficial, so I change my way and I speak the truth. So it means that in this moment, he really make the actions of preventing himself from bad speech, and immediately he change because of the wisdom that comes into it. Okay, so this is one level of charita. Another level of charita is just to speak the truth by wisdom. I know it's important. I used to speak the truth, and I know that this is important to tell the truth. So I keep telling the truth, okay, or not gossiping, or not speaking bad to people, or whatever. Later I will say what the meaning of bad speech. And the last one, which is the highest level, this is when we are by vipassana cutting the wrong speech. It means this person which is cutting the wrong speech by the vipassana, he will not be able to tell lie. He will not be able to speak harshness to people or whatever. He will not be able to break the speech because the mind changed already. Okay, so this is higher level. So we have, like I say, about the charita, the varita, it means I'm taking the precept. When people taking precept, even someone just now tell lie, but he come to the monk and then he say, he start to take a precept, he say, musawada. Musawada, it means where amane sikapatan samati. I will try to keep the right speech, not to tell lie. So in this moment, when you make the wish, this is the varita, like I said. But you have higher level, which is the charita. This is taking really actions. This is one of them. It's stopping himself in the last moment. This is one level. Second is that just to tell the truth, not to tell lie, because I know it's important. So by habit or whatever, I know by wisdom, I will guide myself to tell the truth. And you have the higher level, which is the someone which is cutting by, by Arya, by Vipassana, he cutting this wrong speech. So he's not capable to tell lie anymore. Okay? So whatever he will tell you, he will do. So we have, if we are talking about body is very big, but we have only three things which is not good. Later I will talk about actions. Okay. The mind, also three things, but the body, the mouth is so small, but it can create 4 bad things. It carry more things badly than all the body actions and or even the mind. And what is this? The 4 things, which is micha, sacha, okay? And we say sacha is a speech. So micha sacha, it's opposite from samasacha. Samasacha is right speech, and micha sacha is a wrong speech. So what is the wrong speech? One of them is just to tell lie. This is the musawada. Not to tell the truth because of any interest about myself, interest about other people. I'm not telling the truth. I'm going to say, when Buddha said, yeah, I don't see, and I say I see. You see, you say I don't see. Or you hear something, you say I didn't hear. You didn't hear, you say you hear. Something like you change the reality, the truth. So this is musawada. This is one thing which is wrong speech. Another pisunavada, pisuna vacha. This is backbiting. When you are people, they are speaking bad about other people, when the other people, they are not there, and then you gossiping and speaking bad about them. Or whether you want to put them down, or you want to split between people, you want, so something like gossiping about the people and speaking wrong speech to the other people, okay? And something even want to break between couples or whatever, people, their friends, you speaking to one person wrongly or whatever, just to harm them or to hurt them, with the intention to that other people, they don't like the other person, whatever. So this is the second one. And then the third one, it's called Sampa Palapa, which is idle speech, talk. Like if two people, drunk people, talking foolish things, no meaning, no any aim, just talking, joking, and stupid and foolish talks without any kind of meaning. Okay, like I said, this is like useless chatter just to spend the time or to make fun with each other. Or, so this is foolish things like this. It's also considered to be by the Buddhism as a wrong speech. And then we come to the last one, Pausavaja. This is mean speech which is with anger, with rude, yeah? Offending people, speaking like abusing people, speaking with a lot of anger, with shouting or calling to other people, putting them down by the. This is like even like a knife. You can beat the people if you speak very, very strong. You're cursing them or whatever. So it's very harmful. And this is coming with anger. Okay. So this is all together. It's a 4 things what our mouth can produce, which is will be wrong speech. But what is the good speech in this? Like I said, the different level. So the first one, it's when people, they just taking the precept. They're coming and they are promising, I will not tell lie, I will not split between people, I will not talk harshly to people, or very strong bad words to people. When you make this wish, this will be like right speech. Okay, but also to tell the truth by itself. When you are sticking to the truth, even like you are in the last moment, you are changing. You say, I will not make the bad speech, and this is actually right speech. Try to stick to the truth as this, and like I said, the highest level. For example, you have if we talk about telling lies, so it's the opposite is telling the truth. Separate between people. It's talking nicely to people, talking a good way to the people. Okay. The opposite from the bad speech is talking with loving kindness, friendliness, and the last one is words which is useful, yeah, like Dhamma, talking meaningful things which is meaningful. So this is called, this is 4 things opposite from the other 4, which they consider to be like a right speech, sama vacha. So this is according to the third path on the Eightfold Path. We say the first one is the right view, second is the right thinking, third is right speech, and now we are coming to the 4th one. This is called right actions. Okay, so right actions. Also here, this is the body actions. How the body is taking actions, and the body taking action also you can have it same like with the speech, with the two levels. One is varita, which is making a wish not to kill, making the wish not to steal, making the wish not to make bad sex. So in the moment that the people are coming and taking the precept, actually they are producing good mind in their good mind. So it's already, it's considered to be right action. You can consider it as a right action because they are directing their mind to the goodness. But you also have, like I said, charita, which is really to take the actions. I want to steal, but in the last moment I say, oh, this is not belong to me. It's not good to do it. Okay, I stop myself. In this moment, actually, I make very, very powerful in my mind directions to change. So in this moment, actually, I make right actions. That in the last moment, I prevent myself from the stealing. Or I want to, my friends, they go a party and I know they maybe they drink alcohol, or I don't know, maybe they take drugs or whatever. Better I don't go there. You see, actually, it's making me even suffering because I want to go with my friend. But I will say, okay, better I will not do it. It's harmful. So in this moment, actually, I produce goodness in my mind. And this is the charita of the right actions. Another thing is just to make good things. Because we get maybe people, they see poor people on the street, they give them food or whatever, okay? So this is, they are producing goodness on actions. They don't steal. Maybe people, they are protecting others, or they're saving life of any animals or whatever. But you also have higher than this. This is when the people, they really change into, let's say, sota mind. So they are cutting their wrong actions in their mind. So they are not capable to break the precept, like I say about the speech. So this is the highest level. This is the level of really change by the vipassana. So this person is not making it because of, he had the wisdom to it's good things or whatever. But he really do it because he cannot do, because the mind change. Okay, so this is a different level. And then, so what kind of actions we have, which is not good actions? Like I said, the first one is called paranatipata, which is killing. The second one is atinadana. This is not to steal. Okay. Then the third one, which consider it's a kamesumichachara. This is to prevent from wrong sex. Okay, wrong sex, like with the young people, someone marry or someone have a partner or whatever. So, and like I said, the opposite is can be saving life. Okay, giving donation. If we talk about or someone lost something, you give them back. And about sex, maybe protecting women or children or whatever. So this is will be the right actions. If you do actions which is protecting the people or reducing the suffering of other people. And this is the fourth path on the Eightfold Path. So now we're coming to the fifth one. The fifth one is right livelihood. Okay? Right livelihood. And what the meaning of livelihood in this case? It's the way that you are working, how you earn the money, how you get money, what is your occupation, what you're working. And if you are doing work which using the wrong actions, like killing, stealing, bad sex or whatever, this will be wrong livelihood. Okay? But or if you do with the wrong speech, if you use your work, your own money, you even can people, they can be very rich. but they are actually, every day go to work, they're making bad things. And also about the selling or dealing with, we have about 5 things which is not good work to do. One of them, selling weapon, dealing with weapon, because by weapon you can kill many people, whatever. So when you do this, you can be very rich, but you are harming other people. Selling with women, slaves, human being, okay? Yeah, this is the second one. The next one is using by flesh, meat, okay? Animals, dealing with animals, selling animals, growing up animals to slaughtery or using even milk or whatever. So you use the animal, so, or meat, produce meat. The fourth one is dealing with intoxicating, with the drugs, alcohol, you harming other people with this. And the fifth one is dealing with poison. Okay, poison not only for human being, also poison in the nature, for the fields. So people that make they spritz in the fields, they're actually harming themselves by this. But they kill a lot of animals by this also. And if we add another thing, this is about gambling. When people are working in the gambling, they are actually they gamble by themselves, or they are gambling. They are working with the company which is making up gambling. This is really also wrong actions or wrong livelihood. The way that we work in the wrong way, but actually opposite. What is the right livelihood? Right livelihood, if you are helping to people. You go every day, you can help to people. For example, nurse, doctor, a teacher, or whatever, assisting, or taking care for all people, or teacher in the school, giving education. So all these things, you improving the life of the people. Even I'm not talking only necessary to volunteer. You can get to earn money by this. It will be your work. Of course, you have to live. You have to give salary to your family. But every day you are going to work, you do good things. You're helping other people. Yeah? So even if the motivation in your mind, it doesn't matter what you work. You can be a painter. You can be anything that will work, fixing car of people. But you do it with your heart to help other people. You don't think about the machine and the money only. You're also thinking about how the other people they're satisfied or whatever. You're honest with them. So you are taking your simple work and you change it into the right livelihood. So this is what the fifth part of the Eightfold Path. Okay, and this is what we call again right livelihood. And then we come to the sixth one. The sixth one is right effort. And what does mean right effort? Right effort, sometimes I explain it on this development, whatever you are developing. So for example, you develop garden. So what kind of actions, what kind of effort you need to put on your garden so your garden will be beautiful? So first things, you have to build a fence. You have to prevent that other people will not accidentally come in to the garden. You have to, people will not throw the rubbish inside, or it will not come. If we talk about human being, we are practicing, so we are protecting the sense doors. We don't let everything, we ignore it, seeing, hearing, or people, they are going into the internet or movie, they're exposed to very bad things, I don't know, maybe books or journal, very bad information, they're spoiling themselves. Children down nowadays, or other people, not only children, they play many hours with games. And when they come to practice meditation, you see how the mind is very dirty and disturbed and restlessness, and with the greed, anger, delusion, because of all this exposed. So the first actions we have to take is to prevent for the bad information to come in. Like I said, to build the fence. The second thing is you have to clean the bad things that inside, that already inside. For example, people coming to practice, so they are cleaning the mind from the anger, worry, doubt, lazy, even the anosaya that exists in the mind, which is very, very deep inside kilesa or dirty. So you have to clean the rubbish that inside, already inside you. Like a garden, have a rubbish inside and you clean it. And then the third actions that we talk about this as a right effort, this is the effort to start to develop the good things. People making charity, people helping, people giving or whatever, people coming and practicing. But it's not enough to do it one time. So the first, you're just starting to cultivate the goodness, but the fourth action is to continue the good things that you already make. So you make good, but you continue with the practicing. Every day you practice. Every time you have the possibility to give charity, you give dana, whatever, helping. If people ask for you help, you go and help them. So you do many, you respect elders. So do you continue doing good things? So altogether, it's considered to be 4 efforts. What they are 4 efforts? First is to protect the new rubbish not come. Second is to clean the rubbish that's already inside. The third is to start to develop good, and 4 is to continue. So this is and the 6th path, which called right effort. And then we come to the 7th one. 7th path is right mindfulness, samasati, and this is 4 foundation of mindfulness. This is the sutta, the Dhamma-cakka-ppavattana-sutta. The Buddha he explained very deep about how to acknowledge. We have to acknowledge body, big body, small body, walking, sitting, standing, lay down, whatever we are doing in our big body, small body, touching, turning, rising, okay? We have to acknowledge feeling, liking, disliking, neutral. We have to acknowledge mind, thinking, judging, analyzing, criticizing, planning. And we have to acknowledge the mind object, anger, worry, doubt, lazy, craving. And of course, we have 6 sense doors, hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, feeling, and thinking. So mindfulness, about 4 foundation of mindfulness. This is considered to be right mindfulness. And the Buddha used the word sati sampajanya. And what the meaning of sati sampajanya? It's in clear understanding. Everything that can also in according to the body, feeling, mind, and mind object, we have to use the clear understanding. Because sometimes we explain to people the thing, sitting, they have to be in the sitting. But we say, actually, it's not mean we have to be on the sitting. We have to know that we are sitting, that's true. We have to know why we are sitting. If I sit in the car, it will be different sitting. If I sit in the airplane, it will be different sitting. If I sit meditation, it will be different sitting. So what is the reason that I'm sitting? So this is the sampajanya. It's mean I know what is the reason that I'm sitting. And then I know how I'm doing the actions. For example, I'm walking meditation. I'm walking 2 steps. I'm walking 3 steps. I know how I'm walking. When I'm sitting, I know I'm sitting cross legs. I'm sitting on the chair. I'm sitting on the sofa. Okay? So I know that I'm sitting. I know how. I know why I'm doing it. I know how I'm doing it. And I know that this is body and mind that making it. This is the wisdom that we have. We are human beings. We have body and mind. So this for knowing, this is mean sampajanya, clear understanding. It's not only focus, I'm sitting. Okay? It's not only I have a pain. I have pain directions to the legs. I don't like it, okay, whatever. So we know the situation clearly. This is called sati sampajanya. And this is what means right mindfulness. And then we come to the eighth path from the Eightfold Path, which is the right concentrations, sama samadhi. If we talk about Abhidhamma, according to Abhidhamma, we need one of the four jhana. The first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, and fourth jhana. One of them, we can enter into Maka, cutting the greed and the illusion. Maka and Pala. According to the Abhidhamma, you need to use the one of these four jhanas. In the Abhidhamma, they describe 5 jhanas. So one of these 5 jhanas, this is will enter you, help you with the sati, with the mindfulness, to enter into the Makapala. It means to cut the greed and the illusion. In each jhana, we have a factor. Okay? So the first one is called Vitakka. It means the thinking. We mentioned before the Vitakka, Vichara, it's to be able to follow and not to miss the object, because we are focused on the object. Vitakka, Vichara, Piti, happy feeling, Sukha, okay, like the first one, Piti, it's rapture, Sukha, it's mean happy feeling, and Ekagata, it's one point. So it means when we develop the concentrations with the Vipassana, these 5 elements, they're growing up, but they are serving the insight of the Vipassana. This is not just observing one object and stacking there. This is knowing one object, another object, another object. It means that these 5 elements, they are function, include the mindfulness, and not only stuck on one object. So it's not the jhana of the samatha. Jhana of the samatha, it's these 5 elements, they became I, but they are stacking on one object. It can be artificial object, just imagine color. But in the Vipassana, we are using this development of 5 things with kanika. It's been momentary. In one moment, I know thinking. Another moment, I know rising. I know falling. I know pain. I know touching. It means the concentration, this torch, the flashlight of the concentration, it's moving from one object to another object. Okay? So it means we develop the concentration, but to the Vipassana way. It means moment by moment. So then it's served together with the mindfulness to see the nature things of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. To understand the nature things of anicca, dukkha, anatta. If we only focus, we cannot see anicca, dukkha, anatta. But if we change the object with the concentration, so this mindfulness include the concentration will help us to create the insight of the Vipassana insight, to see anicca, dukkha, anatta. Now, like I said, this is according to the Abhidhamma, that you need one of these 4 or 5 jhana. But if we look at the sutta, there is what we call, in the sutta, there is no this name. It's not mentioned this name. It's called access concentration. What means access concentration? It's nearby the jhana. It's not exactly the jhana. And I give you an example. Suppose someone looking at the Buddha is so excited, so his mind became slowly quiet and peaceful. Or someone listening to Dhammatalk, and this Dhammatalk touched him so much, so his mind quiet, happy, he liked very much. Something like the factor of the jhana starting to develop in his mind, not because he's practicing concentration, but because of the situations that happen. And in the time of the Buddha, this is how the Buddha, it's mentioned in the sutta, how the Buddha used his Dhammatalk to make the people calm and happy when they was listening to his Dhammatalk. But what happened? They didn't got, some of them even don't have the ability to get into jhana. They get into close nearby the jhana with the effect of the jhana, these 5 jhana, Vitaka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, and Ekagata, because they listen to the Buddha. So this is we call access concentration. Okay, I give you an example. When you enter to the city, you just enter, maybe you come to the suburb, you come to the first part, before you enter, already you have the symptoms of the city there. You didn't enter into maybe, let's say Munich. You just come to the nearby village or something nearby Munich. Already you can see, you can feel Munich there. You have the symptom of Munich, but you are still not in Munich. So this is called access. Just enter, just nearby. So when people, they are exposing, the Buddha use it, like I said, when you give the people Dhammatalk, he first explain them about, oh, if you make good, you can be angels and this. So this touched the people, so the mind became something like concentrated. They developed the quality of the jhana, but they didn't enter into the jhana. Some of them, they don't have enough power of jhana. But then the Buddha teach them the 4 foundations of mindfulness. So we use this access concentration, the nearby the concentration, and then convert them into sotapanna, into sakata, kami, whatever. But you see what happened in the sutta. There is a story when many people, they enter into sotapanna, sakata, kami, whatever, they cut the greed, anger, delusion, even without entering really to the jhana itself. Okay, according to Abhidhamma, you have to go into first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, 4 jhana, but Abhidhamma talking 5 jhanas. Okay, never mind. But you have to go into it to cut the greed and delusion, to makapala. But in the sutta, they're talking about that even people they exposed to situations and the mind became quietness, then they can convert to the, this is what the Buddha could make to the people. I don't believe today people can do it. That's why we need to practice also to develop concentration. But when we practice vipassana, how Ajarn Ton is teaching us, so the concentration develop by itself. We let the concentration come by itself. And then people, they even capable to reach to the jhana, but kanika, momentary concentration, moment by moment, like I said. Rising, it's one moment of mindfulness, but also concentration must be there. It's come by itself. Falling, it's another moment. Sitting, another moment. Touching, another moment. So the concentration develop, but with the mindfulness together, moment by moment, moment by moment. They're not stuck on one object. Okay? And for sure, not artificial object, but looking at nature things. So then you can see the anicca, dukkha, anatta. So what happened with this Eightfold Path? If we take the Eightfold Path, we can make them like a stairs. One stairs support the other stairs. Another stairs supporting to other stairs. So people can climb. How it's going? The first one is establish our purity. This is what we call sila. And mean right speech, right actions, and right livelihood. When people making good, but they don't make bad, and then they want to practice, they will be happy. Oh, how I help to this person, how I make good there. If they make bad, the mind will be restlessness. Very difficult for them to concentrate. But if we try to concentrate and we make good, so it will serve our mind to be focused on to be rising, falling, less and less disturbed. So you see that this right speech, right actions, and right livelihood, they come to be like a bird, like a step that help us to go into concentration. And what is this concentration? The concentration is right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. So when we are making good, the Buddha one time said, all my teaching, do good, don't make bad, and purify your mind. So you see how it's coming into the Eightfold Path. So when we do good, we have the ability to practice mindfulness and concentration. So when the mindfulness and concentration is coming, we can see nature as it is. And then we develop right wisdom and right thinking. So you see that actually sila, or behave, supporting the concentration, the samadhi, and then the samadhi bringing up the result of visuddhi or purification or wisdom. And when we have the wisdom, automatically we are using the wisdom to develop again right thinking. So you see, it's like a circle that connect to each other. How it is. If we have right understanding, so we immediately will have the good intention. We don't want to harm anyone. If we have good intention, we don't hurt anyone by actions. So we are by speech first, okay? We will use the right, we don't speak bad. And also we will not act bad. If we are using right and not acting bad and not speaking bad, so when we go to work to earn money, also we don't use bad there. When we are doing the good, then we can develop that we are not doing bad, we are making good, so we are using right effort. Immediately we follow right effort. And then when we come to practice mindfulness, we're using this goodness to develop the mindfulness and the concentration, and then it brings us again wisdom. So when the wisdom develops, again we are starting, we can be better people and better people and better people. And this is like a circle that's supporting each other all the way through till nirvana, till you cut the greed, anger, delusion totally. So, okay. And this is for when people, ordinary people, they're starting to walk the way, they develop, and one thing supporting the other one thing supporting the other one, so it became like a circle. But for the Sotapan, he cannot run away from anymore, and his life became the Eightfold Path. He cannot, everything that he's doing, his aim is one aim, is for nirvana. So this is, we have, if we talk about karma, I just finished with this one, we have 4 kinds of karma. Some people, they're doing good, okay? They are doing bad, they will receive bad, okay? So this is karma, bad with bad. Some people, they're doing good, they receive good. They think about good because, oh, maybe it's good to give charity, it's important to do good things. So they will create good, and they receive good by this. Some people, they will make mix good with bad, and then the result also will be good with bad. Maybe soldier, he want to protect his country, so he kill the enemy. So he will be disabled, but the government will protect him, take care about it. Okay, so he will be very protected, but he will be disabled. So he make good, but also bad. So this will be karma mixing. But if we talk about the Eightfold Path, which is nirvana, is the object of every actions by body, speech, and mind that people are doing, this is called neither bright, neither dark. Because you cannot say that nirvana is happy, but also nirvana is not suffering. Nirvana is out or above the happiness and suffering of the ordinary life. That's why we call it neither bright, neither dark. Every actions that people are doing with the Eightfold Path, with the intention to nirvana, this will be neither bright, neither dark. The aim is not to be happy in this life and next life. The aim is just nirvana, which is not happy and not suffering. Okay? And when someone enters to Sotapan, this is everything what he do in his life will be just one aim, just nirvana. It doesn't matter. He don't consider it. He go to help someone not because it's important, because it's important to his way to nirvana. It maybe looks egoist, but it's not egoist because he don't have any expectation. We just do it because it's important to do it. The doctor will go to the hospital to help to the patient, but not in conditions that the patient will be healthy. He will do his work. Maybe the patient will die, but he will do the best to save his life. Okay? So this is what the Eightfold Path coming to be the life of the Sotapan. Normal people, when they go on the Eightfold Path, it doesn't matter when they will start. Normally the people will start with charity and doing good, but some people, they go to study first. And after this, they start to cultivate good. Some people, they start with concentration. They go in and developing, I don't know, samatha, they practicing with the yogi, gogi, I don't know, India or whatever, and then they enter into the vipassana. So you can enter to the vipassana either when you make goodness in the past, when you study, you create wisdom, or otherwise you come from concentration side. But every link is supporting the other links. So that's why you can see the Eightfold Path as a wheel which supporting each other. And the Eightfold Path is inside the Four Noble Truths, and Four Noble Truths is inside the Eightfold Path. Anyone have questions?
Hello, Ofer.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for this talk. It was very good, really. It's so good. I have a question that, so this is, but the karma I can't control. Like I'm trying to do good, and I try, I make the wish that I do all my actions for Nibbana, but I see sometimes it's selfish, sometimes it's maybe with expectations, sometimes it's, yeah. So, yeah, like I try to direct myself to Nibbana and to letting go of everything, but yeah, it's hard, like because there's so much dirt inside, yeah.
Yeah, you see, this is anatta. This is non-self. It's not something that you have to blame yourself. You should not feel angry about yourself or bad about yourself. You just have to accept it. This is the way it is now. It will change. It's the time will change it. It's habit. Yeah. Sometimes we have dirty mind with habits of dirty mind. Any kind of thing, the habit which is not good. And we're repeating again, and we do it again, and we do it again. But when we practice vipassana, we understand this is non-self. What can I do? I try to do my best. That's why we can ask the precept again and again and again and again. Every week, every Buddha day, we make asking the precept from the Uposatha day. Yeah? So people, they can repeat it again and again and again. Understand? Also for monk, they have the compassion. The monk one coming and said to the other, I break this precept, 227 precepts. And then the Buddha give the opportunity to do this. Okay? So we know we are not enlightened people, but we have good intention to do goodness. But still the mind is not pure. So we are on the way. That's why we are on the training. So one thing, you should not be disappointed for yourself or feeling bad or look upon yourself. You should understand this anatta. What to do? If it's not anatta, it's atta. You can make focus, Elizabeth enlightened. Happy. But it's not working like this. We wish to be good, but what to do? Many defects here. So we need patience to ourselves. And just continue to do it. It's okay. Fake it till you make it.
And another question, is the fifth precept the most important? Like, because if I drink alcohol, it weakens the fourth. So if I do it, I can just, but would you say the same? I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I say dealing with the drugs and alcohol, it's one of the things which is bad for merchant, for people selling or whatever, okay? But the Buddha didn't include it inside there when he talked about the right actions. he
Yeah.
didn't put it inside right action. We talk about right actions totally by body, speech, and mind. Okay, right thinking, right, wrong thinking, wrong speech that can lead us to the hell. So this is the things which is coming there. But they say this kind of things can lead us to something I'm sure I know the way how to go to the hell and how to go to the heaven. So you talk about these 10 good things and 10 bad things.
Yeah.
So the Sura Meraya, which is the intoxicating or drug, alcohol, let's say, we use the word is alcohol. So it's nothing mentioned as a part of the wrong action, but it's part of the 5 precepts.
Yeah, yeah. And the access to concentration, access concentration, in which sutta is it?
Oh, there is no, you will not find it in the sutta access concentration. All of them, this access concentration is appear in the first jhana. Something like they say, because it's the same characteristics. The same, the suburb of Munich, it's the same like Munich. You already see the house and Munich, but you're still not there. So you need to be a little bit more powerful. So then you jump into the jhana itself.
Okay.
And the Buddha have the power how to convert the people. So what he have done, he make trick. He first talk to them things which they like to hear. Oh, you give charity, this is taking to the heaven, you will be angels and this and that, you respect your papa, mama. And then the people, they feel comfortable, they're happy. So they concentrate. All these facts of the jhana start to develop. Not so strong like the jhana. Yeah. But it's make the mind, how you can see that its effect on the mind, because the mind became quiet and peaceful. Yeah. And this is the effect of the jhana, that in the moment that the person in jhana, he will not it's pressed down all the influences. Yeah. That's why Sankara Upekayana. Upeka. When people, but when we practicing, we don't judge in the practice of the Vipassana when we practice the course, because it's anicca. So sometimes you upeka, sometimes you're not upeka. Yeah. Also determination, sometimes upeka, sometimes not upeka. Then otherwise you can get all the time blackout. Not possible. Okay? Yeah. It's changing because we're practicing the kanika moment by moment by moment. So the jhana is coming. People that have the ability to come, they practice in the past jhana. The jhana is jumping, but the people they can enter in by access concentration without within the first jhana. Okay? If you look in the Abhidhamma, it's go like mathematics. Okay? Yeah. Like a table. So you say, the Makapala, you have to go into the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. Don't talk about access concentration. But in the sutta, there is no mention the word access concentration. This is in the commentary.
Okay. Yeah.
You will not find in the sutta.
In the sutta, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. You see, sometimes people go in India, they're exposed to the situation. They don't practice. But suddenly they get symptoms of tears coming up or whatever. They're so calm, they're happy, shanti, something like that. Suddenly they're concentrated. But they didn't practice concentration. This is nearly. That's why we call it access concentration. Please. So you see people, they go in and practicing, they're struggling into jhana, they say we will practice very intensive, and then we come to practice vipassana. We must develop concentration. And then you see that it's not really necessary. Let it go by itself. Please, anyone else?
I want to ask.
Yeah, please.
What's the meaning of the Yoni-Soma Sakarites there? The attention?
Yeah, it's right intention. For example, when we Leo asked what the meaning of Yoni-Soma Nasikara. Mana, it's mean mind. Sikara, it's karoti. Karoti is to do. Okay? So it's mean the motivation. when we are eating, you say Pati Sanka Yoniso, okay? Brindavan Yoniso, it's in the good way, okay? Good intention, on right intention, with the wisdom. So Yoniso Manasikara, it's motivated, let's say the intention in the mind or volition, the Sankara or the actions, the taking in the mind, which is motivated by wisdom, by goodness, okay? Because what the meaning goodness or good motivation, the result will be happy. If it's Ioniso, the result will be unhappy. So because it's created by greed, anger, delusion. So that's why we call it Yoniso and Ioniso. It's good motivation and bad motivation, not because it's good or bad, because the result will be happiness or suffering.
Thank you.
That's why we are titled it Yoniso and Ioniso. It's negative, it's like minus. Ioniso. This is also what we do every day when we chanting morning and evening. Yoniso Bundapatan is about the food. Yoniso Chivaran is about thinking about the good, about the clothing in the good way. Not to be happy, to be beautiful or whatever, but just to protect us. So this means wise intention. Please, anyone else?
I have another question. Good to see you healthy. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, ask another question. So, is it only possible to reach Mahayana and Palayana when I do a retreat, or is it also possible if I'm just meditating like this?
No, it's not a function of a retreat. Retreat, it's a suitable condition. It's a matter of practicing mindfulness.
Yeah.
The Buddha, one monk, he said to him, when you walk, you walk. When you sit, he came to the Buddha, and then the Buddha asked the Buddha, what should I do? So the Buddha told him, go to the elders. The elders will teach you. Okay. So after some time, he came back to the Buddha, and then he said to the Buddha, I don't want, I'm going back home. I don't like to stay anymore. So the Buddha asked him why. He said, it's too difficult. They give me exercise, very difficult for me. I cannot take it. So the Buddha said, it's no problem. When you walk, you walk. When you sit, you sit. So he get into progress by this, because he used mindfulness. No, don't mean anything. A retreat, it's just a suitable condition. But if you have enough quality, it's come by itself. It's come everything. Tanat used to ask people. Some people, they report to Tanat. I remember about one nurse. She said, I don't know, I have this experience. Sometimes when I was in the service in the night, and then she got the blackout. And then Tanat told her, it's possible. Of course it's possible. Because you was mindful that time. You make good. So it's the goodness lift you up and include the mindfulness. And then she got Tanat confirmed.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Good. So one more chance. Okay, so we pay respect again to the Buddha. Next week we will continue the sutta. Araham Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Bhutam Bhagavantam Abhivaden Swagato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhamma Namaskaram Susatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sangha Namami. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Sadhu.
Welcome.
Mm.